Living room conversation.
If you're live in a room, isn't it a living room?
Howdy everyone, welcome back to Living Room Conversations. I'm Joshua Fields Milburn with the Minimalists. We're here in my living room in Los Angeles. I've got my good friend and my doctor friend, Dr. Ryan Green with me today. I dragged him over. We're getting ready to go to the Russian bathhouse, but I dragged him over beforehand just so we could answer a question for Keek. Keek wants to know, what are some minimalist approaches to fitness and physical activity? The wellness marketing field makes it seem so complicated. I'm thinking of like infomercials right now where people have like ab rollers and all this shit. But I'm sure it is something that can be well simplified. I love to hear about your experiences, and you're an extremely fit guy, but you also know about wellness. I have a really simple like sort of baseline. I have two things that I make sure that I do constantly. One is I for variety, I make sure I do different things at least twice a week. So whether that's like Soul Cycle, doing that twice a week, making sure that I'm doing like either weighted exercises or body weight exercises a couple times a week, and then I walk every single day. So my rule is that I just call it the twice a week rule. And then every day I like to do at least 18 minutes of something, and because for me, everything on top of that is gravy. So if you work your butt off for 18 minutes straight, you do some really heavy body weight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and then you do anything else above that, then you're gonna feel amazing. And so what I've learned to simplify my own fitness or wellness routine is it doesn't have to be that complicated. I don't have to go to the gym for 2 hours.
No.
So talk to me about this. When you talk to clients or patients about this, what do you tell them?
So bare minimum, American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of moderate to high intensity activity per week. That's the minimum recommendation. So the key there is moderate to higher intensity activity. So that's, if we were working out together, this conversation would be difficult to have based on our level of physical exertion. So if you think about it, like when you ran a mile in middle school, high school, like the further you got, the less you were able to like chat with your buddies because you were getting a little bit more physically active. So that's moderate to high intensity. So if you think about it, 150 minutes per week, roughly what you were saying, if you did 18 to 20 minutes per day of something that caused you to have reasonable amount of breathlessness, whether that's weight, cardio, high intensity interval training, 20 minutes a day is roughly about 140 minutes per week. And everyone can build 20 minutes per day. I guarantee that you can find 20 minutes in your day that you could go out and run around where you're at, or do just a bunch of squats, push-ups, pull-ups, like you were saying. So it's really something that people can achieve on a daily basis, and once you start doing it on a daily basis, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll find that it becomes something that you and your body crave, and you'll want to build in to your daily routine. So
now, I agree with that. In fact, it's not that I beat myself up over it if I don't do it, but there will be a day where I just don't feel like doing it, and usually I'll just force myself to do it. I like to try to do it in the morning. So start off with that small win, and then if in the afternoon you want to do something as well, then great. So why do you think it's become like it's so complicated now? We see not just the infomercials, but now Instagram posts and everything else that makes fitness seem so complicated.
I think the issue is that people want what they are doing to be the panacea for obesity, diabetes, heart disease. Like if you do this mode of exercise, all of your problems will disappear. But in actuality, as you guys know, it takes not only exercise, but what you put into your body and things like that. Until we get the exercise component down, though, people are going to have a difficult time achieving that comprehensive wellness that they're looking for. So people should not get discouraged if you can't find an hour to go do a fitness class, because when in actuality you really only need 20 minutes a day of doing something that will get you to that point where you're sweating a little bit, you're out of breath, whether that's weights or otherwise.
And if you're just getting started, an hour is probably way too much, and you're going to burn yourself out really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people just don't know what exactly to do or where to go to find that information. So, literally, I don't know if you have tried Tabata or the Tabata style of training.
On a Soul Cycle bike, yes.
Exactly. So what Tabata is essentially, it's an old Japanese training style that people used for karate and other martial arts, where you literally do one movement for 20 seconds, and then you take 10 seconds
Yeah.
off, and then 20 seconds. And you do it 8 times. So it literally takes 4 minutes for one complete session.
Exhausting.
Exactly, because you just go as maximal effort as possible, whether it's sit-ups, push-ups, squats, whatever. And as long as you're trying to hit the same number for that every 20 seconds, you will, one, get tired, but two, develop a higher level of fitness the more frequently that you do that, because your body will become more accustomed to that training and you'll be able to do more and more and more. So that's something that's simple that you can do in a living room.
Yeah.
And if you do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, literally takes 12 minutes and you'll get 100 to 200 reps per exercise in, and before you know it, you're like, okay, that was 15 minutes, I did 300 reps or something. Like some people that go to a gym for an hour and a half won't do 300 reps.
I saw a cartoon recently in the New Yorker, and it had 2 doors going into this gym, and on one side it said actual gym, and you can see all the equipment there, and the other side it said place to go to sit on weights, sit near weights and look at your phone.
Exactly.
And I see that at gyms all the time, and that we confuse the showing up for the activity. You don't have to go to the gym in order to embrace an activity. And so I think the advice to walk away with today is spend 20 minutes a day doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, whether that's running, cycling, body weight exercises, weightlifting, whatever it might be. Spend 20 minutes a day, put that on the calendar right now, and you'll be able to figure out how do I progress from there.
Exactly. And just say, hey, if I jogged for 20 minutes wherever you live, and I went, you have GPS, you know exactly how far you can go. So 20 minutes, I went 1.5 miles. In a couple weeks, hopefully challenge yourself to say that 20 minutes, I'm going 2 miles, I'm going 2.5 miles. And then those are little things that you can do that require no money, and you can utilize tools that you already have, which is a cell phone, and you can track to see how you're doing.
Yeah. It doesn't take all this extra equipment. It doesn't take all the gym memberships. You don't have to wait till you have the perfect running shoes in order to go run. You can take the shoes you have right now and go
Where
run.
I trained at Dartmouth for my residency, literally every stairwell said free exercise, open the door.
Yeah.
You just would walk in. So if you go grocery shopping, carry your bags up your stairs into your apartment. I mean, that's literally resistance work as well as, stair work. So push your lower extremity. It's simple. It doesn't need to be that difficult. The hard part is people assume, well, if I can't go to a gym for 60 minutes, then it's not worth doing something, and that's just absolutely false.
Right before we started doing this, before you all showed up, all my friends here that are here right now, I spent 15 minutes just doing push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and now I feel good for the day. If I do something else, great. If not, then I can still give myself permission to feel great.
Totally.
All right, y'all, that's it for this living room conversation. If you want to follow Dr. Ryan Green, we'll put a link to his Instagram handle in the show description below. Doc, thank you so much for joining me today. If you all have a question for living room conversations, leave it in the comments below. That's the best place to ask a question. That's the best place to ask a question, and we'll answer it on a future episode. And if you like these answers, feel free to subscribe if you'd like. All right, we'll see you next time.
The Minimalists.